one of the things in terms of police culture, and there's some other stuff I'll try and... One of the things that I've seen I found very interesting is that when we go on police conferences, even when we went to the one in Italy, Gary organized a police society conference in Italy. There were cops from Long Island, there was cops from Arizona, there was cops from England, there was cops from Italy. And as much as I was there slowly trying to feel out and make friends, the cops didn't need very long at all. There is something about the job that they do and the culture that they live that within minutes they're like, am I right? They're sitting there, they're having a ball.
Italian, what do you want?
Well, the Italians, but they're also from England, from other countries. The cops, there's a culture that unifies. And that's why you get what we talked about earlier. What does the average person on the street think the most stressful thing about policing is? It's the bad guy. What does the cop think the most stressful thing about policing is? The bosses. And when you talk about stresses that cops talk about having, bosses, the institution, the paperwork, the court system, bad guys either at the bottom of the list or don't make the list at all. A culture is something, is a shared language, shared experiences, shared body of knowledge that is passed down from older to younger, a group of people that have similar ideas, similar clothing, and similar tools. Now let's think about policing. Field training, that passes your culture right down. That's when the older cop tells the cop in the car to forget everything he learned in the academy. The common tools, the gun, the baton, clothes, the uniform, is there a language? 10-4, there's a language. And I got to say, you guys are certainly not a 10-22 now, are you? And if I really get into trouble, I'll do a 10-1, he'll come up. And yes, there's a language for policing. Eskimos had a lot of words for snow, and I've never taken inventory of how many words cops have for assholes. Other things about the culture, it's a male culture. Like it or not, even though there's females coming into the force, it's a male culture, and it's an exaggerated male culture. A lot of workplaces, and this may be politically incorrect, women soften it. When women are coming to policing at the present, they learn to become harder. That's what I'm seeing. You have the warrior mentality, Wayman Mullins, Belly and the Beast stuff. It's a macho culture. Pain and weakness and a need for help are not admitted to. Winning is the key. The bad guy never wins. One of the first cops that I saw a long time, a very old cop, was we were talking about some real street stuff, and he was saying, oh man, when I first got on the job, I mean this is in '64 he got on the job, he went out, he was so proud of himself that he wrestled and brought a bad guy into the precinct. Now this is not police work today, this is '63. And he walked in and the bad guy had some bruises on him. And he was a bloody mess because he said the only reason he won is he grabbed a garbage can lid and managed to smack the guy in the head. And the sergeant, I'm sorry, looked and said, what the hell is wrong with you? You look worse than he does. You two guys beat the shit out of him and take him back. He's not arrested. Put him back in the street. You will put us all in danger if the bad guys think that they can get away with beating us up like that. I don't think they do that anymore, do they? No, not anymore. The locker room mentality. It's a closed culture. The blue wall of silence, okay? It's an us versus them mentality. You see the ugly side of life. And you also are in a position where you need each other to survive, where you have to make split-second decisions. You can make a mistake in an instant. If you make a mistake, you're going to be crucified. So at a certain point, cops take this, but for the grace of God, go on. So, the public does not understand that you cannot shoot the gun out of somebody's hand. It just doesn't work that way. And if anybody's ever fired a handgun, you'll know you can't shoot it. Too often when you test that, pretty much shoot for center of mass. And so what you get is that cops believe that no one understands them but other cops, and they will stand behind each other, and they don't feel any guilt when they say that he fell down the stairs. Street justice. Maybe we'll make that in a question later on. Quickly, street justice good or bad? All those who think street justice is good. Raise your hand. All those who think street justice is bad, raise your hand. Very interesting. I don't know. I got to tell you, the abuses of street justice are pretty awful. However, how many times has there been a cop who, instead of putting a kid through the system, where the kid learns that the system has no teeth, they don't have to listen to authority, it totally disrupts their lives, it gives them a record so now they can't get a job. How many times has a cop maybe taken the nightstick, bashed the kid a little bit, not really done anything, the kid decides, maybe I will toe the line. I don't know. I'm not saying street justice is good or bad. I'll let you guys make that decision. I'm just offering a thought. Cynicism is something I'm going to talk about later, so I'm going to leave that alone, and I'm going to finish this up with the reactivity of police culture. This has implications in a lot of things, especially in marriage, and it has a lot of implications in how they can't necessarily help themselves. We don't realize, because of how competent police are at their job, how reactive and non-proactive they are. Because let's take a look at what a police job is. It's a unique job. So you start off every shift, the cop basically is told, okay, you need to get to work, and bad stuff's going to happen today, and when that bad stuff happens, we expect you to do something about it, and you're going to need to do it quickly. And the cop says, oh, I'm a cop, I got that. He says, but, you know, I do have a question. You know, what's the bad stuff that's going to happen? How would I know? Okay. Well, can you at least tell me when the bad stuff's going to happen? When? I don't know. You know, could you tell me where the bad stuff is going to happen? The hell should I know? Okay, but when the bad stuff does happen, what exactly am I supposed to do about it? You know what you're supposed to do about it? Do something, and do it quickly. Well, can you tell me what exactly that something is you want me to do? How the hell should I know what I want you to do when I don't even know what the thing that's going to happen is? Okay, let me just ask you that. So when I do this thing, what happens if I make a mistake? Oh, well, that I can tell you. If you make a mistake, we're going to crucify you. Okay, but at least, thank God, because of the crucifixion, I'll have some time to think about what I'm going to do. No, you're not going to have any time to think about what you're going to do. You're just going to have to do it, and you're going to have to do it fast. So I would suggest that these are some, not all, of the things in police culture that make working with cops different than working with non-cops, and the reactivity is something that I think is very important.